Hello, people. We're doing another bonus brainstorming session, and I'm Devon, and this is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so for those of you not familiar with this format, for lack of a better word, this is a lot more casual than how when we record. Like, we don't really edit anything out. We just sort of brainstorm and put things out. The reason why I'm giving a bit more of an explanation today is, unbeknownst to Rick, I'm changing the rules. So we didn't have a planning session for August, but this is a planning session for September, and I've decided that without consulting Rick, which might be a bad no-no, we'll put these out before the month instead of at the end of the month.
Okay, fair enough. I'm happy enough with that. So yeah, you get to see in real time how well we're going to do.
Yeah, so you guys will have a bit more forewarning of the structure of how we're going to be doing the month. We're going to stick to our usual rule, as it were, of like, we're going to list the things we're going to do. We're not going to put in stone what order, because generally, depending on how we're feeling, sometimes we don't want to do something that's going to take an hour and a half minimum, so we change it to something that's going to take 20 minutes.
Yeah, it also depends on what else needs to happen as well. Like, if we're having bad internet, we'll do something short. If we need to do something, another recording, like something in hand or something else that's scheduled, then we'll do that on a short day as well.
Absolutely. And,
like this.
Like this? Oh, yeah, yeah.
This recording itself.
Yeah, sorry. So today when we recorded, we did a very short retrospective, specifically because we knew we had a bunch of shit to record today.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the general gist. And also, assuming that it's not too much editing work, which I don't think it will be, this will be the first brainstorming session to go up on the YouTubes.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Hello, YouTube.
So you guys will be able to click on this and be like, oh, so that's what they're planning on doing for the month, and tune out respectively. Another thing that tends to happen as well during brainstorming is sometimes indie shows we like drop episodes. Looking at you, Earth Guy. If one of those comes out this month, we will probably just drop something and change that and replace it with that, because we really like just watching those as they come out.
Yes, absolutely. Like as close to release as we can.
Absolutely. So with that in mind, yeah, we're going to brainstorm. We need 5 reviews, 4 retros, and 4 rumbles. The rumbles work a bit differently. We plan a month ahead for rumbles. So today, for example, it will be for October for the rumbles. We've already kind of got 4 locked in for spooky themes, but just in case you've come up with something cool, Rick, do you have anything to suggest to replace one of the 4 we've already got in mind?
My thought was just to add in a basic zombie. I think I mentioned this to you in private as well, that you pick a rank and file zombie from like whatever franchise and pit them against the rank and file zombie from whatever other franchise. So, for instance, I don't know, like Resident Evil versus like Dawn of the Living Dead or whatever.
The only thing I can think of is that the core problem is it's going to be rolling a dice, really, isn't it?
Yeah. They're also
saying like, basic zombie isn't good, because specifically zombies I'm thinking of now is basic zombies are basic zombies. There's not much variation.
Yeah, like the only variation is in like how the medium treats zombies. Like 28 days later, you can argue they're not really zombies, but they really kind of are.
Yeah, but they're not though, are they? Because they go super fucking fast when they turn, don't they?
Yeah, well, it's still basically a zombie movie, but yeah, they're fast zombies. And then, like, you got The Last of Us, where they're mushroom people with cordyceps, but yeah, it's a zombie thing. Because
here's the thing, is I don't think a zombie versus a zombie in this context would be very interesting. Partly because, you know, they find it tough to kill each other.
Yeah.
There are no headshots from zombies.
Yeah. So maybe a zombie survivor, but even then, like, the rest of the ones we're doing are actually the actual villains themselves. So
here's another question then, Rick. What would you take out for this zombie idea?
So we've got slasher.
So we've got slasher villain, we've got kaiju, we've got werewolf / miscthroat, as in like a lycanthrope, but replace lycan with, I don't know, a jackal-weir, because Rick likes those, and vampire.
Yeah, like maybe I'd bump kaiju to a less Halloween-y themed month for these.
However, you're bumping my favourite category.
Oh yes, totally. But what I'm thinking of is expand that to a giant monsters month.
You're dangling this in front of me, but I don't think you'd be able to do a giant monsters month.
Yeah, because like, what are we going to do? Like,
I can do a giant monsters month. Oh, did you just mean a giant monsters month for the Rumble?
Yeah, for Rumbles.
Oh no, you wouldn't be able to stretch this to 4 categories.
Oh, land, sea, air, and space.
Yeah, but there's so much crossover in each of those categories that it's pointless to diverge them.
Yeah, Godzilla for all of them.
For real, for one, but for 2, like most things, like Godzilla Godzilla is C for certain. Gamera is C. Ghidorah is... There's so many for C that are also just land as well.
Yeah, Gamera also definitely does do space.
Well, most of them do space.
Yeah.
Almost every single... I want to say 60% of Godzilla villains come from space.
Yep.
Like, so, I was such a smarmy fuck during Godzilla King of Monsters, the second American Godzilla Legend movies, where they used a bomb to take away all the oxygen around Godzilla and Ghidorah, and I whispered to my friend, I went, that's not going to work on Ghidorah. He comes from space.
All you've done is nerfed Godzilla for a moment.
Well, they did. He had to go undersea, and Ken Watanabe had to sacrifice himself to bring him back.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. I liked it. Here's the problem, Rick, is I want to keep kaiju, and I think the zombie idea is dumb.
Cool. We'll skip that then. Cool. Yeah, so we'll stick with kaiju, slasher, werewolf, and vampire.
Cool. I love how you've put them in a different order.
Oh yeah, like they come out in the order that they come out in.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It just means that we're definitely gonna have to have the conversation when we sit down to record and make sure we've got them in the same order. Because I can just imagine introducing like the vampire episode, and you're like, oh fuck, I've got slasher as my first one.
Well, so yeah, we've got Dracula against freaking Mothra.
Oh, Dracula wouldn't stand a fucking chance. Just when we do vampire, by the way, if we do pick Dracula, you're gonna have to specify which version of Dracula.
Oh yeah, totally.
But anyway, so our 4 rumbles are going to be vampire. We're saying werewolf for the sake of ease, but anything that is a lycanthrope-esque monster. Should we just change it from werewolf to transformation? Or is that too vague?
Beast person.
Yeah, that works. Either way, when we say werewolf, we know what we mean.
Yeah, transforming beast person or whatever. Yeah, so like, I don't know, saying Sonic the Hedgehog the day that he got a freaking Power Rangers bracelet is kind of not what we're expecting, but we know what we mean.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you want Sonic the Hedgehog as the werehog, that totally is fair.
Oh yeah, that would work. Yeah.
Which is the example I thought you were going to give when you started saying Sonic.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, were creature, kaiju.
Dude, I forgot about the werehog. I already know what I'm going to pick though, so hopefully it's a fun one.
Yeah, fair do. I have no idea. I haven't thought about any of these yet. Vampire, werewolf, kaiju, and slasher villain. I will tell Rick off if he picks someone who is not a slasher villain. But like, I think slasher villain is nice and vague, because even if I don't think either of us should pick this character, but like Chucky counts.
Oh yeah. Because even if you kill him, he's still a doll. He'll just get a new doll or whatever.
Yeah. Let's get down to actual brass tacks. We've got 5 reviews and 4 retros to come up with. I've already got 5 reviews that I think we should do. I'm going to toss one out immediately because I know it's something that you suggested for this previous month anyway. So we should just do Terminator, the anime, right?
Yeah. So we'll start with Terminator. Like it came out between the last recording session and when this is released. So yeah, it just missed the themed month by a hair. So we're just tacking it on as the first thing in the next month afterwards.
Yeah, I'm kind of relieved that it missed the deadline anyway, because I really wanted to do the mask.
Yes, we got to do the mask. It's great.
So yeah, I know you've actually got a few ideas for reviews, so let's hear 1 or 2 of them.
Okay, so the Sandy Cheeks movie. So this is a SpongeBob SquarePants movie that's on Netflix.
It's on my list, Rick.
Yeah, so it's about 1 hour 40. I messaged you privately saying, how do you feel about doing movies? And I've got like 2 movies on here. So Sandy Cheeks is one of them. The other one is Ultraman Rising, which is 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours is... I don't want to do that.
Sure. So, that's fine to skip.
Or rather, I don't want to do that this month.
Sure. I'll just tell you the 2 that I've got as well. So, these are both on Netflix, and they both come out on the 19th. So, they can't be done until at least the back end of the month. Twilight of the Gods.
Oh no, that's shit.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it is. Is that not a continuation? Oh wait,
I don't know if it's a continuation.
Is that the Zack Snyder thing?
It's the Zack Snyder thing.
Yeah, you can fuck off.
Okay. And Queen of Villains.
I have no idea what this is.
Okay, so it's a live-action thing about a Japanese girl who becomes a pro wrestler heel in the 80s.
Is this based on Bull Nakano?
Maybe.
Well, you've done more research than me. I assume you know.
I saw a little bit of the trailer. I'm like, this looks fun and like interesting and funny. So I'm not going to watch too much on this in case I get a lot of spoilers. And yeah, it's also out on the 19th, and is apparently a series, so not a movie.
Dump Matsumoto, a professional wrestler who spurred the women's professional wrestling boom with her cult-like popularity and took Japan by storm in the 1980s. So it seems to be based on a real person, but I'm not familiar with their work. Although that face paint looks like Bull Nakano even.
Yeah.
I'm just going to Google. It's fine. We don't need to fall for time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those where it's. I saw it. It looked interesting, and I thought it would be the kind of thing that's.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
Yeah, the kind of thing that's like in your wheelhouse and would tickle your fancy, as it were.
She's not Bull Nakano, but she worked with Bull Nakano.
Okay.
The reason why I know Bull Nakano is because she worked for the WWF, which is,
Sure.
She's also a professional golfer, Bull Nakano, that is, which is funny to me. I also remember the fact that Macho Man was on commentary once, or used to be on commentary for a bit, and whenever he couldn't say Nakano, so he'd just call her Bull Naka. Yeah, go on. Let's put that in the docket then. What'd you say, Queen of Villains?
Yeah, Queen of Villains. Out on the 19th, so it's got to be like...
It's fine. We'll do it on the tail end of the month. It's the only thing we're popping on. That's, back half of the month, so it's fine.
Yeah, so we can, week 3 or 4, we can record that.
Yeah, no worries. Brave Little Toaster.
Yeah, sure.
We've already done
we were going to do that.
So...
Yes, the BLT. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, happy with that.
Cool. So that leaves one more thing to add. I think, because I didn't know this existed until I Googled it, we should do Rugrats, the 2021 reboot.
Oh, an Ancient versus Modern.
No, not even an Ancient versus Modern. Just watch the new thing.
Okay, let's watch the new one. Yeah. I've seen... specifically that first episode, I believe. I know Grandpa's got a different voice.
Well, you don't need to... I don't know anything, Rick, so let's leave it as spoiler-free as possible, eh?
Yeah, so yeah, we can give that a go. Yeah, no worries, I'm happy with that.
Alrighty, so we'll run through the list again once we've got everything sorted out. We need 4 retros. You don't have any ideas for this?
What I've got so far is going back to the Isekai Bitch Fest, which we kept kicking the can down the alley. And I thought of doing, because we talked about trying to start armchair bookings. The topic that I pulled out of the hat was pick something from the Xbox 360, PS3, and Wii era that's an abandoned franchise. And I've got it on my thing as we pick one each from that time, because we probably played different games.
I kind of get where you're coming from on that. However, the idea from armchair booking was we pick the same thing and both try and do different spins on it.
Okay.
Because, just picking 2 rounds, it might as well just be, here's us talking at each other 2 times.
Yeah. So, awaiting turns to speak. Yeah.
So is there a specific thing from that era that you think I too would be interested enough in to compete with, as it were? Also, before we get into that, like one of the retros we're doing is Fallout, the show. Was that you agreeing, or was that you just humming in general?
That was me humming in general, because he cut out in the middle of saying so, and I wanted to let the flow. But I realised that this is one that we can edit. So
no, we don't need to edit. This is a casual conversation. Right? I said we're doing the Fallout show retro. I just want to put that on the list.
The Fallout show. Yeah, Fallout show definitely up there. Yeah.
Right, cool. So, armchair booking, is there something you want to try and do that you think that I also know enough about that we can fuck around with?
So, like, what can we think of from that era that's finished or stopped and failed that otherwise could have kept going? I guess Knights? No, you don't give a shit about Knights.
The only thing I know about Knights is the fucking... They've got 2 races in Sonic All-Star for some fucking reason.
Yeah. They appear more often in Sonic racing games than they do in their own games.
Get fucked, Knights.
It's like fucking Captain Falcon. Captain Falcon's in more Smash Brothers games than he is in F-Zero games.
That's because Nintendo sucks.
Yeah, I mean, Sega sucks more. This is me as a childhood Sega fan. 3D Metroid? I think they are still actually making Metroid Prime 4, aren't they? So
I also don't give a fuck about Metroid.
Sure. What else was stuck on the Wii? Epic Mickey?
I didn't play it.
Was the... it's going back slightly, so it's GameCube era, but Bongo Donkey Kong.
Bongo Donkey Kong?
Yeah, so there were 2 Donkey Kong games with bongos. One of them was just a rhythm action game, and the other one was like an actual Donkey Kong game that you played with the bongos.
Yeah, I'm vaguely aware of the gimmick, but I never played... I played Donkey Kong Country because it's the best.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Now... Now, would you be open to it being Donkey Kong games played with gimmick controllers, or gimmick controllers in general?
Gimmick controllers in general is a decent idea, but we live in a generation of VR, which kind of makes it all pointless now.
Yeah, because you can just use the VR controller and just pretend that you have a stick.
Oh, that's annoying. Because with the advent of VR, it really has just, that's it. Gimmick controllers are dead.
Yeah, gimmick controllers are dead. Did you know that the stick was inducted into the Toy Hall of Fame?
What, the joystick?
No, the humble physical stick.
Well, you mean a stick you pick up in the woods?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a toy.
Yeah, like it's a weird one where it's both the most universal thing that kids play with, and yet also not really a toy that's been designed.
Well, that's just it. Tool Hall of Fame is, it suggests to me something you sell. Like
Yeah.
a toy is something you buy, not something you just pick up off the ground. Like, yeah, I will play with a stick, but like someone doesn't get the credit for inventing the stick, so therefore it shouldn't be in a Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I would say that Paper Airplane would belong there, because that is something you play with, even if you make it yourself in like 2 minutes.
You're fucking wrong.
All right.
If you put the paper airplane in, you have to put the stick in my opinion.
Sure.
That's just how it works. I don't mind if you put the paper airplane in, but you can't say paper airplane yes, stick no. Now, what I would say is a good middle ground is, do you remember those foam kits that were little foam, essentially a sheet of paper made out of foam that had patterns on it like a Spitfire, and you put it together and it made a plane?
Yeah. So they gave you a little plastic propeller to put on the foam thing.
Yeah.
They had to give it some weight at the front so it didn't just like bank up and do a fucking loop.
And the really dog's bollock patterns would cost £1.
Yes.
Or if you went down the car boot sale, you could get 4 for £1 because no fucker could sell them.
No. Well, yeah, they were also sold at the newsagents, and when you got sent with £1 to go buy whatever you wanted from the newsagents, like people would, like, as a kid, you'd buy sweets, wouldn't you? Like, you wouldn't buy the frickin' like whoopee cushion or the throwable foam thing. Although when you'd eaten your sweet and your mate had got the foam thing still, you were like, oh shit, maybe I should have bought the permanent item.
Do you want to hear story time with Devon?
Let's go.
Millennium Dome.
Oh, yeah.
For a whole year, for the year 2000, it was a very special, unique attraction. I got to go with my primary school. I would have been 8. My mum gave me a tenner and said, buy something nice. She thought I'd buy a souvenir, but instead I bought a giant lolly. And she didn't berate me, but when I got home and showed her my giant lolly, she said, oh, I thought you'd buy something more permanent, and then I felt bad buying a lolly.
Yeah.
However, as a 32-year-old man now looking back, I'm like, I super see her point, but I can't turn back the clock. What is done is done. I still went to the Millennium Dome, and it was really fucking cool experience. There was some weird shit on show, which seems like fuck all now in the year 2024, but in 2000 was mind-blowing.
Yeah, like that giant anus that you could walk through.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing that I remember.
I remember that, and I remember there was an experience that would show you the layers of the rock, not the rock, the Earth's core. She'd start at the crust and get all the way to the actual core, and they had they had heaters, that's what it was, but heaters that would blast you with heat, so the deeper down you went, the hotter it got. It was mind-blowing to 8-year-old me.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I remember, I kind of remember that as well, yeah. Wasn't that one where, you physically had to go down, like, this iron staircase that was emergency exit?
No, you sat down. And you looked at essentially a 3D wall, like a wall with layers on it, and the layers would form and be painted to look like the different layers of the Earth. And it was basically like a screen, old school, like on a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
And it would go down layer by layer as the guy giving the speech would explain each layer.
Sure, okay.
So, like, primitive tech, but, like, used in a way that seemed super high-tech and advanced.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing here, though. Like, we were talking about gimmick controllers. Like, maybe we just make it into a regular retro on gimmick controllers and not just an armchair booking. We just chat shit about gimmicks.
Excellent. Yep, I'm booking it.
Yeah, chat shit about gimmicks.
Except my keyboard doesn't work, so it's gimmick cannoles.
Gimmick cannoles!
I'll fix it when I plug in my new keyboard, but I can't do that.
No, I think we can just call the episode Gimmick cannoles.
I don't think that works, Rick, but fair enough. Any other things? things that you wanted to add for retros?
No, that was I put all of my thought into finding Queen of Villains and Sandy Cheeks.
I like the Sandy Cheeks the Sandy Cheeks one the most because I also found it within 2 seconds.
Yes, yeah. I opened Netflix and was like, okay, they're advertising this. Oh, here it is. I was like, what is this? Oh, the tagline. It's the Sandy Cheeks movie. I have basically not watched any SpongeBob, but I can do most of the voices because they're easy.
I watched like 4 episodes of SpongeBob when we had that week away because it was on for the kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, SpongeBob's alright, I'll pay attention to this.
Yeah. I was just a little bit too old for it when it was new.
Oh, I was prime audience, my friend.
Yeah, so I thought it was a bit annoying and a bit stupid.
It's both of those things, but when you're a kid, that's what you like.
Yes. I was exactly the age where my choice was between watching Nickelodeon for SpongeBob or Cartoon Network for Dragon Ball Z. So, that's where in development I was at the time.
I don't think Dragon Ball Z must have finished by then, on Cartoon Network anyway.
It was like early Saiyan Saga when SpongeBob was new.
That can't possibly be true, because I also watched early Saiyan Saga of Dragon Ball Z.
Maybe they were just doing reruns or something. It was before the Cell Saga was new anyway.
I don't think that's correct, but I'm not going to argue with you because I don't know. Do you want to do the next step of Dragon Age Origins with the Mage Tower?
Yeah, we can book that in. What else have we got on the long form ones? We very definitely finished the Baldur's Gate, so we don't have to come back to that for any time soon.
Yeah, honestly, they've given us a snippet preview of the new quote-unquote evil ending, and I'm not impressed.
Sure.
It looks worse.
I mean, I think that was the point. It's like meant to make you feel worse. But
you're punishing your players for taking the bad option, which isn't what you should do in a game that's meant to be, choose.
Yeah. Meanwhile, apparently, the Dark Herd was meant to actually kill the Emperor and get the Emperor's role replaced by Baal.
I told you this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the one who told you that information.
Yeah. It was wild.
Yeah, it would have been cool. It wasn't the Dark Urge killing the Emperor. It was Baal killing the Emperor and saying, you don't listen to them, you listen to me.
Yeah, you listen to me now. Yeah.
Which, makes sense that Baal would do that, because Baal has the power to, take over that role. If Dark Urge just did it, then Dark Urge wouldn't be able to replicate the Emperor's power, and that would be game over.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to loop back around to armchair booking and try and think of something we've both done? Because I remember one of my initial ideas was Tony Hawk, because everyone's played Tony Hawk.
I mean, they do technically still keep making them. They're just not good.
Yeah, but that's my point, is armchair booking is meant... Because I also had MTG and D&D on the list. It's like, take something that has an obvious point you can point to as, this is when it turned bad, and say what you'd do different.
Sure, okay.
And the reason why I eliminated the Dragon Age 2 suggestion is because in both examples, you have to not make Dragon Age 2.
Yeah. Yeah, just don't make it. Either that or you just make it more fun, like make it matter. Like the characters are great, the interactions are great, but the story just didn't need to happen. Oh well.
You okay, Rick? You sound genuinely sad.
Do I sound sad about Dragon Age 2? Oh, my bad.
The wound, it will not heal.
Oh, I've played worse games. I've enjoyed worse games.
I said this when the game came out. It's a fun game. It just shouldn't have been called Dragon Age.
Yeah. Like, they didn't have to tie it to the Dragon Age universe at all.
Or, specifically, it shouldn't have been called Dragon Age 2. I think it should have been called like Dragon Age Kirkwall or some bollocks.
Yeah, like, or just call it Hard in Hightown.
Well, you can't call it that. That's copyright infringement.
Yeah, but it's okay. Varric's the one telling the story. And the fact that Hard in Hightown 2 was copyright infringement that wasn't his book, he could just call it Hard in Hightown 3 and take it back.
One of my favourite things is you find chapter like 317 in the Fade, and Varric's like, why am I still fucking writing this far in? Why don't I stop? Because Hard in Hightown makes me money. We don't have to do an armchair booking. It's just, you brought it up, and I do quite like the idea.
Yeah. I mean, is there something that we can think of that's like really old and really abandoned?
Tron?
Sure, why not?
Do you want to know why that's in my mind, Rick?
Did you just see an advert for Tron Legacy?
No, it's because I put Tron 1982 as one of my suggestions for reviews.
Okay.
Because I think that'll be a good movie to review. Because I saw that. Obviously, I didn't see it when it came out. I wasn't born for another 10 years, but I did see it when I was like 5, and I thought it looked not good.
Yeah, so I saw it like quite a long time after it was new as well. And I was like, man, this is weird. How do I not know about this movie? And then I just lost interest and walked away because, it was Sunday and I had to do my homework or whatever.
The weirdest thing is Tron is in Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
And I don't know why.
Well, because he's owned by Disney, but...
Yeah, no, I get that, but it's like, who is this for?
Yeah. Because Kingdom Hearts is, if you'll forgive me, for people who are a little bit younger than me. Not much, but a little bit.
I mean, the game came out early 2000, right?
Yes, exactly. So, even if you were a kid at that time, you wouldn't have been a kid when Tron was new.
Yeah, Tron came out... Tron got involved in Kingdom Hearts during Kingdom Hearts 2, which had been about 2003, I want to say, at the top of my head.
Yeah, around about that. Sounds about right.
It's feasible that 30-year-old people were playing Kingdom Hearts 2 and were like, oh, fuck, Tron. I mean, even I went, oh, fuck, Tron. Immediately followed by, what the fuck is Tron doing in Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
Because I think the oldest thing... Okay, it's not really fair because Mickey Mouse is in the fucking game and that's technically the oldest thing. But, I guess Peter Pan might have been the oldest?
Maybe?
Or Winnie the Pooh, but that was a side story that didn't count and also is Winnie the Pooh and is popular throughout time.
What about, Snow White, though?
Didn't come in till Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep.
What, not even Maleficent?
Not from Snow White, from Sleeping Beauty, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's not Sleeping Beauty, yeah.
But,
Snow White's got they've got the evil queen, ain't it?
Yeah, and point being, she was just a villain in the game. You didn't go to her world.
You didn't get a Snow White world, yeah.
As a design,
okay.
Maleficent is a good villain design.
Yes.
So, totally makes sense.
Both as a design and as a villain's motivations and, being able to, usurp the plot to a degree.
Yeah, and also you get to fight her as a dragon, because she can do that.
Yeah. I find it really cool how down the girls' aisle of Lego now is just Lego Maleficent. I'm like, Dragon Maleficent. I'm like, okay, cool. If you want to lure the boys over to the girls' side of the Lego shop, that's how you do it. You put a big fucking dragon there.
Well, I got a fun fact for you, Rick, because I worked in a toy shop for a brief period of time.
Okay.
They don't call them girls' toys and boys' toys.
Oh yeah, it's the pink aisle and the blue aisle.
It's princess toys and action toys.
Okay.
And I don't care about this arbitrary change. Try and seem more inclusive and more. I think it's important that on the customer side of things that you try and make gender norms seem less, mandatory. And I think it's a good thing. On the flip side, I think when you're dealing with your warehouse and no customers are ever going to be in there, I think it's okay to draw the line and be like, that's girly shit and that's boyish shit.
Yeah. It's a weird one. The boy shit is... The boy shit is technically gender neutral. Anybody can enjoy that. But the girl stuff is very definitely marketed towards girls.
Yeah, I don't think that's true, Rick. Both things are marketed towards certain markets. I just think gender norms are bullshit.
Sure.
Take any action figure. It's very definitely marketed towards boys.
Even the term action figure is just a euphemism for doll.
If you like.
I mean, it is. They are just dolls, and there was how do we revamp the word doll to make it look like it's not dolly, the girl toy doll. Well, an action figure.
Okay, but again, I very much think there is a difference between action figure and doll, because when I say doll, I'm thinking of Barbie. When I say action figure, I'm thinking of those 6-inch things that wrestlers were made out of that were very much not dolls, because they were rock hard and would hurt when you threw them at your brother.
Yeah. The little Kenner Star Wars ones.
Yeah, so when I say action figure, I mean those little things. If you say if when I say action figure, you think like Action Man, yeah, that's a doll, and I get where you're coming from. But
yeah, so that's what they were originally. That's essentially what they were originally, and it wasn't until a little bit later that they made the little ones that were a lot more affordable for pocket money.
But I'm looking at I also look at my action figure of Black Carston from Boba Fett, and I'm like, that's also an action figure.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call that a doll.
Yeah.
If someone called it a doll, I'd be like, if you like. But in my head, I'm thinking, it's not.
But meanwhile, we get, whatchamacallit, Jingle All the Way. Oh, the Turbo Man dolls, they're all gone.
Is that meant to be Arnie?
Yeah, it's one of my greatest weaknesses is Arnie's, because I just sound like a yawning Jamaican man.
Yeah, you don't sound... Yeah, no, it's not a good one, Rick.
Give me your clothes and your motorcycle.
I acquire your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. Blah.
Yeah. Everyone can do that.
A noise he's
Get
never
to the
made.
Chopper. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And yet everyone knows. It's like the Beam Me Up Scotty of impressions.
Oh, did they never say beam me up, Scotty?
Nah, it was always like Scotty to the beam up or things like that. Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I never watched Star Trek. But anyway, we've just had a 10-minute long rant that started with us bitching about Tron and ended up up with us doing fucking shit Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions. So, yeah, I think we've sorted
content.
it out. So, assumedly, if I've done my editing okay, you're going to be watching this very nicely, fancily on YouTube. If I haven't done my editing properly, you're just going to be looking at a JPEG of our smiling faces. So, yeah, let's do the rundown, shall we? Here's what we're doing. The 4 Rumbles for October that we're recording this month, but won't be out for you guys until October, are Vampire, Werewolf, we both know what that really means, Kaiju, and Slasher Villain.
Sure.
Not necessarily in that order. Also not necessarily in this order are going to be our 5 reviews. Terminator anime, I forget the name. I was expecting Rick to say the name because he suggested it originally.
Oh, I've not looked at the Netflix entry for the name for more than a day. I've forgotten the name of it. So yeah, it's the Terminator anime that came out now.
Okay, fine. Saving Bikini Bottom, aka the SpongeBob SquarePants Sandy Cheeks movie.
Yep.
Queen of Villains, which is something up my alley, although I feel like it's Rick trying to throw me a bone.
Yes.
We're going to watch that monster movie wrestling tournament. Brave Little Toaster, because we already did all of the legwork to set it up.
Yeah.
Last but not least, the Rugrats 2021 reboot, which is almost assuredly shit.
Shit rats, yes.
And our 4 retros. Once again, disclaimer, not necessarily in this order. We've got Fallout, the show, retrospective, because I've finally seen it.
Yeah.
We're going to bitch for an hour about gimmick controllers. We're going to continue our Dragon Age Origins deep dive with our trip in the Mage Tower. Plus, we might tack on Shell before we do that, because that's a very short segment.
Sure.
And last but not least, we're going to do armchair booking. How we would fix Tron.
Yeah.
Because we know better than Disney.
Fix Tron, release a new Tron. Jimmy, new Tron.
Boo. Fucking boo. So yeah.
Boo earns.
Thanks for joining us for our first official bonus episode on the YouTube of telling you our schedule for the month to come. And a thank you to our returning listeners who are listening to the audio platform wondering, why isn't there an August one? Well, because we're changing them to the month prior. We're changing them
month to come.
To before the month instead of a retrospective of the month that just came. So you know we're not bullshitting you.
Yeah. All the best, everybody.
Yep. Bye, guys.